So to continue the terror that is going to be my Halloween extravaganza, if that's what we're gonna, yeah, that's what we're going with, extravaganza. That's a word. Okay. We're gonna go with today, Pet Sematary by Stephen King. Or, I mean, we're just gonna be reading the plot line. And my reaction to said plot line is going to be hilarious because I haven't seen Pet Sematary since I was little. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be the eternal hardness of the YouTube verse is pronouncing things the right way when there's like 4 different pronunciations for it, and especially names. Louis or Louis. I'm gonna pronounce it Louis because that's what I'm used to. It's spelled Louis. And it's spelled like the British spell Louis. So we're pronouncing it Louis because I said so. Okay, not your channel, my channel, pronouncing it the way I want to. That's done and over. Louis Creed, a doctor from Chicago, moves to a house near the small town of Ludlow, Maine. Oh, with his family. It has been so long since I've watched or read Pet Sematary even. I'm a sucker for Stephen King. Probably said that in all the It videos I've done. In the 2 It videos I've done. But I'm a sucker for a Stephen King book. Like, that's what I want from people. Like, everybody's like, oh, can I buy you a drink or whatever. That's what the normal thing is now. Like, no, you can't. I don't drink. You can buy me a soda. You can buy me a bottle of water. Just, okay? I don't drink. And I won't. No thank you. I'd rather have my memory intact than not. So I'd rather have everything here. Because I need everything. I don't think I could handle alcohol, period. So, not even gonna try. Don't really want to try. So, that's the norm though now, is let me buy you a drink. Or let me buy you a cup of coffee. Don't like coffee. Nothing against you, don't like coffee. Buy me a book, buy me a Stephen King book. And you're on my good side automatically. Sorry, my mouth is dry. Ugh. Okay. Wife Rachel, their 2 young children, Aline and Gage. Elle is what they call her apparently. Elle's cat, Winston Church. Nice name for a cat. Nice name for a cat. And their cat. Their neighbor, an elderly man named Judd Crandall, or Crandall, however you want to say that last bit, warns Louis and Rachel about the highway that runs past their house. It is used by trucks from a nearby chemical plant that often pass by at high speeds. Judd and Louis become friends. Since Louis' father died when he was 3, his relationship with Judd takes on a father-son dimension. Okay. Okay, that I don't mind. I don't mind that in movies. Like, the father-son dynamic in movies, it's a little overplayed, and it's not something you see much in horror movies, really, or horror books. Which is another reason Stephen King's up there with the best on my list. So, after a few weeks after the Creeds move in, Judd takes the family on a walk in the woods behind their home. A well-tended path leads to a pet cemetery where the children of the town bury their deceased animals, most of them dogs and cats killed by the trucks on the road. A heated argument erupts between Louie and Rachel the next day. Rachel disapproves of discussing death, and she worries about how Ellie may be affected by what she saw at the pet cemetery. It is later explained that Rachel was traumatized by the early death of her sister Zelda. Zelda! Oh God, Stephen King! Mr. King, did you have to? Not gonna lie, something I would do in a book. I would never name, I don't think I'd name my kid after Zelda, but I definitely do it in a book. From spinal meningitis, ooh, that's the worst kind there is, actually, if you don't know that it is. As her sister grew more deformed and mentally unstable from this disease, she began to lash out at her family, eventually dying in the back bedroom of their house. Well, aren't you a deep-seated ticking time bomb, Rachel? I mean, you can't. Okay, I'm gonna say this, knowing that as a situation I'm not as close to happening with such a thing. It wasn't a disease that took the older sister. It was a car accident. She was one of my best friends, and you'll see on pictures on Facebook of her. A couple of them are on mine that I know about. I don't know for sure that I shared, and one of them is from graduation. It's someone was taking a picture right as we were walking out, and the three of us had to walk together because some stupid debacle because of the school's stupidity. One guy didn't get to walk at graduation. He got his diploma. He just didn't get to walk because his cap and gown were at the other campus. At the campus, in the principal's office, and we were at the elementary school gym. Tell me the principal couldn't have waited, like they couldn't have waited for graduation and went and got it and come back. It was like, it's a 10-minute drive, if. Anyway, but there were three of us walking. There's in the picture, we were turning as the picture was being taken, and she was on the far left. Well, if you're looking at the picture, I'm in the far left, but she's in the far right. She's in the front. We're turning, right? So, there's this shorter, she and I were the shortest in class. There's this shorter girl in the front with blonde hair to here, straight hair. Loved it on her. There's a girl with brunette hair in between us. That's her best friend. The three of us have been friends since the 5th grade, so I think it was a nice touch that we got to walk together. And so did Sasha. That's the name of the girl that passed away. And I was on the far right, or the other side of the brunette, whose name's I don't want to mention her name because there's a situation there, and I don't want to. I'm not trying to single her out, but I don't think her mom would be comfortable with me mentioning her name, so I'm not going to. But Sasha, she has a little brother. Has a little brother. He just turned 7 the week after she died. Literally a week and 2 days after she died, he turned 7. His birthday was 9/11, so he's 7 now, and they were really close. Both their parents work, and Sasha and her brother were really close. I mean, that's emotional damage. Okay, I'm not as close to the situation because Sasha and I, we were good friends. We were pretty good friends. We were in good standing. We didn't talk every day. We didn't see each other every day or any of that. But when we did talk, it meant something, and we remembered it. Like, say, she'll remember me saying, oh, my sister's going to the doctor this day, or whatever, and after that, and like a week after I'd talk about that and my sister went to the doctor, she'd come back, hey, how'd that doctor's appointment go? And if she was going out with her boyfriend, I'd go, hey, how'd that date go? You know? Like, it meant something, and we remembered it, but that's emotional damage to that little boy. And, I mean, at the funeral, I wasn't worried about me. Yeah, I cried. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I started bouncing on the stand, because they had it at the gym. But I started bouncing up and down in the stands because I could not sit still. Because her uncle got up to speak because her dad couldn't. Like, her dad and her were close too. And anyway. That's emotional damage that I wish more than anything that that her little brother did not have to deal with. I wish every day when I wake up, I think, I wonder if he's okay today. I wonder if he's okay today. And I sit there before I get up in the morning and I pray, help that boy, help that family, because everything changed when she was born for them, or for her parents and her grandparents. Everything changed. And now that she was 19. She was 5 months older than me. Anyway, what I'm saying is, I understand that that's horribly emotional damage that this woman in this story is going through. And I don't think it's worse on women than it is men. Yes, women are more susceptible to hardcore emotions, but I'm not gonna be the feminist, sexist crap that's going on right now. I think it's all in how you deal with it, not how your gender deals with it. How you deal with it is how you deal with it. Whether you show it or you don't, you feel it. And that's something I think no one in this world should have to deal with. No parent should have to bury their child. And I can't say no sibling should have to bury their other sibling, because I know that happens frequently, especially in the older people, the older generation. I mean, they had a lot of siblings and a lot of family, and they have more of a support system. Okay. I got off on a tangent. I'm just saying that had to be hard, and that I could never, ever imagine having to do something like that. I would probably rip all my hair out and go insane. Okay, so, I'm gonna continue reading this. Rachel had been left alone by her parents to take care of her unstable sister, and the experience scared her for life. Oh no. No. Did this woman just make her little sister's death about her? Oh no. Oh no. You just don't do that. Louis himself, whose own relationship with his in-laws has been very strained always, is furious at the thought of Rachel's parents' neglect and promises to have a better understanding of Rachel's attitude toward death. So, this woman just guilt-tripped guilt tripped her husband in a way, guilt tripped her husband into not talking about death. Yeah, I know, it's a doom and gloom subject, but there are people out there that die every day. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry at the same time. Louis has a traumatic experience as director of the University of Maine's campus health service when Victor Pascal, a student who is fatally injured after being struck by an automobile, addresses his dying words personally to Louis by name, even though they had never met. Ooh. Interesting plot line. Twisties. On the night following Pascal's death, Louis is visited by the student's walking conscious corpse, which leads him to the cemetery and refers specifically to the deadfall, a dangerous pile of trees and bush limbs that form a barrier at the back. Pascal warns Louis not to go beyond, no matter how much you feel you need to. Louis wakes up in the bed the next morning, convinced it was a dream, but discovers his feet and bed sheets are covered with the dirt and pine needles. Louis dismisses the episode as a result of stress caused by Pascal's death, coupled with his wife's anxieties about death. He accepts the situation as a bout of sleepwalking. Aren't you lovely? Okay, time to pause and reflect. Okay, that part got freaky weird, but it always gets freaky weird with a Stephen King novel. Or series. It's freaky weird. Man's messed up. But it's got my respect. Louis is forced to confront death at Halloween when Judd's wife, Norma, suffers a near-fatal heart attack. Those are fun. Not really. I know plenty of people who have had those. And I'm at a risk for such an event. Yay. No, not happening to me. Okay. Thanks to Louis' immediate attention, Norma recovers. Judd is grateful for Louis' help and decides to repay him after church. The cat, got it, is run over by a truck at Thanksgiving and found dead in Judd's lawn. Rachel and the children are visiting her parents in Chicago, and Louis frets over breaking the news to Elle. Judd takes him to the pet cemetery, supposedly to bury Church. Instead, Louis leads him a few miles beyond the deadfall, with specific instructions to not look down while they walk over the hazardous pile to the real cemetery. It's literally in quotations. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is the movie. This is the I remember exactly what Pet Sematary is now. I mean, I knew what it was, but I forgot that it was about. No spoilers yet. I forgot some of the details. I'll put it that way. Supposedly to bury Church. Instead, the real cemetery, an ancient burial ground that was once used by the Mi'kmaq, a Native American tribe. Okay, Stephen, honey, need to be a little bit more creative on the Native American. I say that and I've got Cherokee blood in me. Okay, that's a story for another day. Or another video, anyway. Pet Sematary. Anyway, more creative on the Native American tribe names, please. Following Judd's meticulous instructions, Louis buries the cat and constructs a Karanim something. Small pile of stones built only for those he took out of the hole he dug. Oh, okay, whatever. The next afternoon, the cat returns home. No, you didn't. You're dead, kitty. I don't deal in the dead. I don't deal in the zombies, please. However, while he used to be vibrant and lively, he now acts strangely and a little dead, in Louie's words. A little dead, huh? You buried the cat. And it comes home and it's dead. You're an idiot. You are an idiot. It is a zombie kitty. It needs... What's dead should stay dead. I'm sorry. But unless you're Jesus, what's dead should stay dead. Unless it's Jesus, what's dead should stay dead. Or unless Jesus says otherwise. Because yes, Lazarus did rise from the dead. Leave me alone. Yes, he did. Leave me. Stop bashing my beliefs and I won't bash yours. I won't tell you how wrong you are. Church hunts for mice and birds much more often, but rips them apart without eating them. Murderous zombie cat! The cat also gives off an unpleasant odor. Let me see. How many times can I say this? It is a zombie kitty. Zombie cat. Zombie. As in, living dead. Hello. Sorry. Louis is disturbed by Church's resurrection and begins to regret his decision. Okay. I'm gonna say this, but every time I say Church, it hurts me because Angel and her sister, their cat's name is Church. And I'm just sitting here picturing that cat coming back from the dead and walking in their house. And I can't help it because that's the only cat I know named Church ever in the history of animals that I know about, that I've met, that I've interacted with. Because my sister has a soft spot for animals, and altogether I think we've had 30 cats. We only have 2 right now. Yeah. Some of the cats was stupid. One of them pooped in the floor too many times and we had to throw it outside. We thought it was gonna stay, but it didn't. Because our dog likes cats, so. Anyway. Judd tells Louie about his dog Spot, who was brought back to life in the same manner when Judd was 12. 12? Is this dog still around? Is this dog Cujo? Dun dun dun! Plot twist. Plot twist! Louie asks if a person was ever buried in the Micmac grounds, to which Judd answers vehemently no. What does that word mean? Someone get me a dictionary. Several months later, Gage, who has just learned to walk... Oh, no, plot twist. Who has just learned to walk is run over by a speeding truck. Okay, see, this is my issue. There are 3 reasons I do not like big trucks. Final Destination, an accident I saw when I was little. Well, I heard about when I was little. It was not good. And my grandmother had a dog, or had a dog. She's dead now. Not from this. This big truck driver, he knew, he had drove past before. Like he was a grain hauler or something. I don't remember what. I was little, so forgive me. But he had drove through before, and he knew that she had dogs that got in the road sometimes. He hit one of them, which happened to be her favorite. Yeah, her name was Savannah. Savannah lost her tail because of that. And Savannah died over a year ago of a tumor. I was like 7 when she got hit, so she just lost her tail. That was it. I mean, they amputated her tail. That was it. She had a little nub on her butt that she would. It was adorable. I loved that dog. That was my dog. That was. There were two dogs that have always been there at her house to me, and that's Jake, a basset hound, a full-blooded basset hound, and Savannah. I can't remember what she was, but they had always been there, and they were our dogs because we couldn't have dogs at home, so they were our dogs. And well, my sister's dog was a German Shepherd. His name was Sergeant. This dog would run up to her. Okay, he'd be a field away. Chrissy, she was tiny. She was a tiny kid. She was little, like this little. And I'm not high up off the ground at all. I am not high up off the ground. I'm sitting down and I'm 5 foot tall. So she was this big. This dog, on its sitting, was this big, level with her. This dog we'd get in the driveway, we'd get Chrissy out of the car, the dog would be a field away, Chrissy'd scream, "Sargie!" This dog would come running from the field he was in to Chrissy. My dad always thought, he's gonna run her over, he's gonna hurt Chrissy, we gotta stop this dog. And Mom's like, stop, wait. And he run up to Chrissy, skid to a stop before he got to Chrissy, and when he got to Chrissy, their noses were touching like this, literally like that. And this dog was the most protective dog of Chrissy. We don't know why he chose Chrissy as his human, but Chrissy was his human. And Chrissy would feed this dog Cheetos, the puffy Cheetos. This dog would sit with its butt wrapped around her and its head in her lap. With its whole body wrapped around her and its head in her lap. She'd be petting him, "Cheeto for you." He'd bite the very end of the Cheeto so he didn't get her finger. She'd let it go, he'd, "Cheeto for me." And she'd do that. And then, anytime that he thought Chrissy was going to get hurt, he'd grab her by her diaper and pull her away. Like, even when she was playing with us kids, he'd hook the diaper on one tooth and just slowly back up a little bit with her. And Chrissy would just go, "Okay," and start playing where she was. But anyway, my point is, big trucks and puppies and babies, that was the whole point of that, and I got off on the Sergeant tangent. Sorry, I get off on that tangent a lot. I mean, I go to that because I love that. I love that, okay? Several months later, the baby's run over by a dog. Or by a truck. Oh, God. Not by a dog. Rachel sinks into a deep depression. Well, one only can when they lose a baby. Elle becomes depressed as well. Well, you lost a baby brother, honey. At Gage's wake, Rachel's father, Irwin, as in Ashton Irwin, it's literally spelled the same, who never respected Louis or his daughter's decision to marry him, berates Louis harshly, Blaming Louis for the boy's death, the two fight in the funeral home's viewing room and upset the casket. Rachel witnesses the fight and becomes hysterical. Okay. I'm liking this girl's parents less and less. But I'm gonna say this. You don't fight in a funeral home. There is a time and a place, and a funeral home or a graveyard is not it. Or a church. That's just respect you give to whatever's being done there. That's just respect. Overcome with grief and despair, Louis considers bringing his son back to life with the power of the burial ground. Judd, guessing what Louis is planning, attempts to dissuade him by telling him another story of the burial ground, that of Timmy Barterman, a young man from Lodo who was killed charging a machine gun nest on the road to Rome during World War II. His father, Bill, put Timmy's body in the burial ground, where he came back to life and was seen by terrified townsfolk soon thereafter. Soon thereafter? I don't know why I said tune. I don't know. I've been around 3-year-olds all day. That's probably why I said it like that. Soon thereafter. Judd describes Timothy's behavior. He acted much like Churchhead, wandering listlessly along the road near his and his father's home, unable to speak and having a haunted look on his face. Alright, I'm gonna skim the rest of this, cause, oh wait, no, there's not that much left, and I've been recording for 30 minutes, I'm gonna skim the rest. Timmy, blah blah blah, indiscretions, Timmy's body. Timmy was actually some sort of demon who had possessed Timmy's body. Judd and his friends fled the house terrified, and Bill shot his son and burned his house to the ground, killing himself. Well, that's nice. Judd concludes that Gage died because he showed Louis the burial ground. There are hints that at some point the burial ground was used for victims of cannibalism and that it became the haunt of the Wendigo, a terrible creature in the forest whose mere presence gives men a taste for flesh of their own kind. In Judd's words, the ground has gone sour and now corrupts any animal or person buried there. So, as you can guess, the dad buries the baby. The baby becomes a demonic shadow of his former self. Unable to talk, able to talk like an adult, he sneaks into his old home and steals a scalpel from Louis's medical bag. Louis, in a deep sleep after returning from the burial ground, is repulsed by Gage's foul odor while unconscious but does not wake up. Louis breaks into Judd's house and taunts Judd's wife's implied infidelity. Then kills Judd with Louis' scalpel. When Rachel arrives at Judd's house, Gage also kills her, and it is implied partially eats her corpse. That's gross. Louis is pushed to the final stage of insanity. Louis kills Church and Gage with fatal doses of morphine, and then grieves for his son by sitting in the corner of the hallway. Then he's stupid enough to bury his wife in the pet cemetery, or the deadfall. How can you be that stupid? Your son killed, well, technically not their son, a demonic version of his son killed his neighbor and his wife with a scalpel. Okay. No, I don't know much about a scalpel. But from what I have heard, it is a knife. The blade is about this long. If on the tip of the scalpel, the blade is like that long. If that. So this whatever had to know how to kill, especially with a scalpel. I'm hoping that it was just the corroded artery, whatever. It doesn't say that her throat was slit, so don't quote me.